Good evening, everyone. Hello, my friends. How are you all doing? Daniel Miller here. Hope you had a good day, a good weekend. I certainly have. And really, we had some most beautiful spring sunshine over here in London suburbs today. It was really beautiful, 18 degrees of Celsius, really mild and ideal for strolls in parks and, in your kind of local nature reserves, which is exactly what I did. A wonderful day so far. You probably noticed that I've cut down on the streaming duration during the last couple of days. Well, I needed a bit of rest because doing Apex Legends was relentless. I broke my record on streaming with 30 hours and 45 minutes in one go, and I did require a bit of recoup, so it's been really very good to be having just one stream a day rather than several, and particularly not those which are very lengthy. And also discussed with my community members during the last few days really how we can make the channel more vibrant and more interesting. We obviously focus on Destiny primarily. We have many Destiny streams here, but people were suggesting lots of different things, and there were some suggestions for PlayStation Now and Game Pass games to be brought in, some RPGs and some open world games in particular. People like Elder Scrolls, people like Destiny, people like Fallout, the games with a massive big open world out there. In fact, I would have streamed Red Dead Redemption 1, but the game is not available for download on PlayStation Now services, and that's really a lot of bother, because I like spending my time with my community members. I don't like solitary gaming anymore, which is what I used to do in the 90s, and before we had the multiplayer and all the internet-based forums. The first multiplayer I played, I have to admit, was Diablo, and I loved it. And so, in the present day and age, we really want to be engaging our friends and, watching things together and bringing people in. And I was reading PlayStation Magazine for the last couple of days. I told you we are going to be having regular focus on PlayStation UK Magazine, and we are going to be having a slot dedicated to for the next 3 days. But I'm just studying really everything that's in it for this month, or I should say the following month, because they always come 1 month in advance. And the editorial in there was focusing on the multiplayer, and they said it seemed to them that the developers were focusing on multiplayer as being the next big thing, and he hoped that this is not going to be depriving other people who like playing, obviously, first player games of many other good blockbusters and other indie goodies. But it's very, very hard to tell what direction the industry will take, because there are so many different novelties and challenges, and we are not certain at this moment in time what direction this will take. We've heard from Xbox, Microsoft and Sony that the next console they'll launch will be without the physical drive, so they'll be focusing on downloadables, on digital access, and everything on the server, or I should say off the server, which you will be able to access and then download and use. Remains to be seen. And also, as you could see at the moment, we have one game which is a non-multiplayer, and that is Resident Evil 2 remake, which has been very, very well taken up by the community, and people actually loved the game. Thumbs up really everywhere. And we had also 2 multiplayers. Well, one that had obviously come out, Anthem, on Friday, and we are expecting the Division 2 to come out next month. So, Anthem is similar to Destiny in terms of its massive open world and the universe which is there to be explored. Many different things to be engaged with, many different characters, many different environments, and overall, certainly a game that will keep us busy for many months and years to come. And then obviously the Division, a multiplayer with a specialist team of 4, and with the agents coming in, resolving difficult situations in this post-apocalyptic, post-nuclear world. And certainly big games are taking that direction. We are to obviously see what is to happen next, but I'm quite encouraged to see that the developers are also focusing on games which are going to be catering for everyone's taste. They include multiplayer, they include first-person player, and there are many other games coming out perhaps are not receiving this degree of attention, sadly so. And as you know, the blockbusters have become really prevalent in every way imaginable. But then it's very good to be using online magazines such as Games Radar, Games Informer, IGN, and Eurogamer, in fact, a magazine that I've been, online magazine that I've been reading a lot in the recent months. Very, very good coverage and very sort of objective, with quite a variety of subjects obviously exposed and touched on. So you can get some information from various outlets, but obviously the mainstream is focused on those big blockbusters, and we all want to be trying them out and enjoying them as much as possible. We had delayed our Anthem streams for probably about maybe 2 weeks or so, because the game is absolutely plagued by technical problems, and on every platform there are many things which are taking place at the moment that are concerning the gamers. The overwhelming support on display coming from the gaming community towards BioWare and Anthem has been tremendous, and I have to say that everybody is very much focused on the quality gameplay and not on the technical issues. And people are indeed very patient and will be waiting for many updates to be thrown in order for those glitches to be resolved. But I did play the demo for 2 consecutive weekends. I loved the gameplay, but I have to say it was really causing me a lot of headache with streaming, because there were some exceptionally difficult and bad glitches occurring for those people who were streaming, and I really want to be sparing our viewers from that sort of arduous exercise of watching the streams needing to be reloaded and having infinite loading screens. But then also what's particularly bad is that at the moment a lot of people have to be restarting the game because the glitches are either slowing the game or basically they're getting stuck, and that's a no-no for streamers. It's absolute no-no. You do not want to have games that are basically requiring reloading, because that means you need to be restarting your streams, and automatically as you're restarting your stream you're losing everybody who's watching it, and it's just a non-starter. It's very annoying and very disappointing to the viewers. So unfortunately, although I really wanted to start on the 22nd, I had to take this decision to postpone because of those technical issues. I don't want people to be watching and suffering, because everyone's very much used to the Destiny streams, which are very kind of fluid in form and content and without any major glitches, although sometimes it takes a while to load certain sections. But it's just, there has never been a need for me to be restarting the game ever since I started streaming it. And the same, it will take a few weeks, I think, for them to get us things sorted out. And I also read a very interesting article in Games Radar today. I recommend everyone to have a look at Games Radar. There is a big kind of featured article on as to why the blockbusters, when launched, are experiencing so many technical problems, and you have several industry leaders explaining what the difficulties are and indicating they're not to do with the usual assumption, which is the developer or the publisher had not reserved many enough servers to deal with the pressure coming in their way on release or around the release date. But they said there were other things which are linked to the player or gamer behavior, the capacity that certain servers will be sustaining without any difficulty, but actually having difficulties in processing the information that's coming in. So I'm not really a technical expert. I've no idea as to why that is happening, but as we move on, I'm quite certain that the tech will be also providing us with many more ways to which that can be polished up and eradicated. I'm not certain that there is a lack of investment, because nobody wants such big games like Anthem to fail right at the onset. But we have to be a bit patient. And as I said, I did observe some particular difficulties and glitches while streaming the game, which in fact were different to what was observed if I was just playing it for my own pleasure. I don't know what might be causing it, but indeed it has been a concern, and I did ask the BioWare team for some advice, and they said, well, yeah, there are some issues in there and they will be resolved in due course. So it may well be that the PlayStation server was suffering from that degree of pressure, because everybody was doing the game at the same time. And we'll have to wait and see. I'm quite certain that all will be resolved. I'm also quite convinced that Anthem is an incredible new game, which, similar to Destiny, as we progress will be growing and evolving with lots of new things coming in. And it's down to the gamer to decide whether that format is for them, whether they will like the combination of RPG, battles and everything else which is on offer. We know that BioWare are one of the leading developers with the focus on RPG and all the elements of the story. So to hear from many online magazines that they found the RPG element to be suffering, and the story is, well, basically the dialogue is not consequential, whatever decisions you make will have impact on what you do, is under question mark for me. It may be initially at the very beginning of the game, but I'm quite certain that as we progress we will be discovering various other niceties. And certainly I can, very proudly and happily state that I did hear from about half dozen of our Destiny veterans here who had contacted me either through Twitch or independently, and they were asking about when the Destiny Anthem stream is going to begin here, because they did have a very, very good few days with Anthem, and they were doing it in addition to the Destiny activities, and they were very, very pleased with what we've seen so far. One of our dedicated Destiny veterans, Captain Jack, he said basically that it was a very good respite from grinding Destiny for almost 6 months, and he also thought that it was blending in very well. It was, the game had the same aura of this vast universe out there which you were exploring, but principally it bore no other similarities. Obviously, as a very dedicated Destiny gamer, he would be more than equipped to tell exactly what the experience is. But also what's important to say is that he went in with his friends, so he was not going to be doing solitary gaming, doing just single player missions, but he went in with others wearing javelin suits, and that's exactly how the game needs to be played from the beginning. That's what the developer said. It's a multiplayer for people to start playing it from the beginning in teams of 3 or 4s, and then carrying on and discovering whatever is hiding out there in the wild. So this is what I'm recommending to everyone. If you have pre-ordered and purchased Anthem, do not play the game by yourself. It's very simple. The game has been designed for 3 or 4 people to come in, and what's important is as you're doing it together, you are going to be given different missions, you are going to be experiencing different areas of Anthem, and most importantly, the loot you collect, the goodies and the experience points will also be reciprocal to the team, meaning that if you're coming in with 4 people and if you're going through the harder difficulty levels, not right at the beginning, but as you progress, you'll be collecting better loot, you'll be progressing rapidly forward, and your experience of the game will be consistently very different to those who are just playing it as a single player. So keep this in mind if you are obviously one of the Anthem fans, and proceed accordingly. That was the advice coming from BioWare right from the beginning, and I think people who were not following those instructions are perhaps missing the boat. Alright, so tonight is the Oscars night. As you know, I run other entities which are following film industry, so we'll be very busy after 10 o'clock tonight watching Oscars and engaging with that community. And tonight we are going to be doing a bit of Destiny again. We'll play Titan Human Male, and the obviously player is going to be DRBMiller, in other words myself. We have several missions in there that need to be tackled, and we are going to be proceeding, I think, with the strike first. If we have any volunteers out there amongst our community members to come in for that strike, that'd be appreciated. I did play a bit of it yesterday. I was a bit tired and focused on a few other issues, and therefore left it for today, and we'll crack on with that instantly. So without further ado, we are proceeding with Titan Human Male, and he's played by DRBMiller. There we are. I can see that No Face is here. Hello, sir. How are you doing? Good to see you. No Face is asking, are you playing any Apex today? Unfortunately, not today. We are going to be rejoining Apex next week, and there are many reasons for that. So unfortunately, I will not be able to do Apex tonight. I apologize. But I will let you know once we are again streaming Apex, and obviously I will send you invites and we'll crack on with our team as usual. And thank you so much for coming in and for asking, really appreciate it. No Face is a dedicated Fortnite gamer and also becoming a veteran of Apex. Obviously together with myself, we've been there literally from the first day, and we've been exploring the niceties of that world in full. So for anyone who is still waiting for Apex Legends streams, they will continue, but at the moment there is a bit of a respite. I've had a very intense 2 weeks with Apex, and I'm taking a bit of a break. As I said, first 2 weeks were dedicated to its promotion, and we are going to be coming back. I do want to be getting to the level 100. I'm already, I think, about 66 or 65 or so, and so I'm very happy with those results, and we are going to be continuing with Apex on another day. So without further ado, we are off to... Well, it looks like we have to go to the tower, but actually we don't, because we can go directly to that strike, which I did start yesterday, and this was in... Yeah, that was the one, Fallen Saber, I think. We'll just have a look again. Yep, that's right. Correct. There we are. There's the strike. Fallen Saber. I did struggle with it yesterday, so if anybody wants to join in, please let me know. I'll bring you in.
Guardian, we've picked up a high-gain transmission. Origin point is somewhere along the coast, near the Cosmodrome.
That's Rasputin, the AI Warmind. If I'm understanding him correctly, it's a distress call. There are so few ballet fans left, Guardian. It'd be a shame to lose him.
Военный спутник запущен. Коды доступа внутри.
We have a war site incoming. Rasputin says it contains codes we'll need to gain access to his bunker.
That's good, other people in here, so we'll be able to do it together. There we are. Minute is asking whether he can join. Hello, how are you doing? Thank you so much for coming in, really appreciate it. Thank you for supporting this channel. As you could see, 2 other people had joined, so unfortunately I can't bring you in at the moment, and it was just the invitation for the strike. So I'm very sorry about that, but we are already in the mission, and as you can see, 2 other people have come in. So I apologize, and really thank you for coming, and thank you for watching, for supporting our channel here, and for supporting our Destiny world, which is always appreciated. My new Twix is asking me how I'm doing. He says that he's very good. That's great to hear, sir. I'm splendid. I had a very, very good day. And, you know, so far so good. As you can see, we've started with our mission, so really looking forward to this strike being completed in full. Thank you, sir. My need says that it's really good to hear that we are having some beautiful spring weather in London suburbs, and you know that's really appreciated.
I'm going as fast as I can. You'd think Rasputin would have made this a little
enjoying
easier.
Some of that weather. Yeah, we're doing well, a lot better than yesterday. Some nasty enemies out there. What we'll do is we'll come closer and then we'll get them. Still more than 1 minute to defend this war sack.
I've got access. Let's go.
They're all dead, which is great. So we completed it with ease. Excellent. My friend there is basically floating, which is also very good. So we are cracking on, and we are going to the bunker. My new to Wix is saying he once the broadcast is over. I'm not able to do that in the middle of this mission, and I really look forward to accepting it. Thank you for joining our community. You can also join us on Twitch, on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. So there's quite a variety of different forums where this channel is operating. All of them are dedicated to video gaming, and they are providing you with a variety of content. Each one of them is catering for something else. Instagram will provide you with concept art and screenshots. Twitter is focused on the industry news.
I'm detecting comm signals deep in the vault.
Anyone with a radio could have picked up Rasputin's distress call. If we don't shut it down, half the Cosmodrome could be at his front door.
As you can see, my friends are having some really good weapons, and we are really getting rid of everyone in no time. What I do need is a lot more ammunition. Completely run out. No, not flying so high.
Could try to hack us through, but Rasputin might handle that poorly. His system's already stressed. Must be some other way to bypass his systems.
Try to find a way to access his systems directly. Could be your only way through.
My new 2 weeks is asking me, are you doing PvP or need PvE? Well, I'm not playing Crucible, and that would mean I'm not engaged with PvP on at the moment. And therefore I'm just focusing on everything else in Destiny.
He's not happy.
Everything which is non-Crucible, so non-PvP. Yeah?
That's all that matters right now.
No, primarily it's PvE. PvP at the moment I'm doing in Apex Legends. So that's Battle Royale, you know, all the other gamers in it. 20 teams, one after another. My Nitwig says I'm not very good in English. No, don't worry about it. All good. All good. I understand everything. It looks like we need to go to the other bridge. Friends have gone there.
Oh, great. Arc streams. You must have knocked something out of alignment.
You've seen worse, Guardian. Push through.
Oh no. The other chap was in my way, as you could see. Chap pushed me onto the not realising that he needs to revive me. Okay, thank you. So that's been destroyed. Now we have to go this way. Alright, looks good. Need my ammunition for certain. My friends are legging it up there, as you can see.
Rasputin has incredible technology under lock and key down here. I'm almost surprised he doesn't have breaches more often. I guess it helps he really doesn't like visitors.
Indeed, he does not.
Высокий приоритет мобильному юниту. Уничтожить его немедленно.
I've played this mission many times.
That shank's been modified to crack his system. Let's take it out.
What was that? It was shank from above. Come on. We need to deal with them immediately. Yeah, that's right. That's it.
You know, they
He is
probably
destroyed.
built that thing out of scrap from the Cosmodrome. It's lucky that it managed to work as well as it did. Maybe it was the size. It was pretty big. For a shank. Would I be more useful with a larger chassis?
Yes. In any case, Guardian, that was impressive work. The skies will remain free of weapons for the time being.
Didn't manage to really dance a bit. That was annoying. There we are, these are the scores. And this is another one. That means we completed that Saber Strike. That's pretty good. Just want to see who else would have come in. Let's see. And bear with us, so you can see we had some people coming in. Thank you guys for joining us here. Thank you for joining us on Twitch. Thank you for joining us on PlayStation. And I've accepted our new friend who was asking me whether I could accept him. You are now on my friends, and you indeed are one of our followers here. And you know, you can join us on Instagram and Twitter. You'll get lots of news on Twitter which are industry related, and also lots of bits coming from my online entrepreneur friends, you know, other streamers. And you have streamers that are doing gaming, and you have those who are providing us with cosplay, and you have people who are doing some other unrelated streams. So definitely always interesting to have a look. You get plenty of information coming in every day, and Instagram gives you screenshots and game results, as well as concept art. I think the game results may be for PUBG and for Apex, you know, the competitive games. Otherwise, we're just focused on the pleasure of doing the games. And yeah, so have a look. Have a look. Well, thank you for joining. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for watching my broadcast. Thank you for everything. And now we have to go back to the tower. We need to get a new mission and also do some admin with our weaponry and our kit. So just bear with us. We are going to be standing by for a moment and then proceeding. Let's have a look what awaits us there. I do know that Zavala and Ikora want to talk to me yesterday, but I've just taken up one of the missions. So after we completed this one, that should be all done and dusted. Let's see. Oh yeah. Quite a few people doing Destiny tonight, as you can see. It's very good to see. We've had some nights where there's hardly anyone there.
Check.
New gun. And let's see, Master of All wants to speak to us. We did pick up some emblems in there.
Of the Golden Age. Knowledge is power, Titan. Well
Indeed,
chosen.
sir. Thank you for your reward. And we have also that
Come back if you
engram.
learn anything
We'll
of
see
interest.
whether it is going to be more powerful, but I don't think it will be. 385, 245. Well, that is just really appalling. We don't want 245 at this moment in time. And what's this? 243. Well, thank you. $200. Yeah, I got that yesterday from Cade. But I really can just dispose with that. It's not because I've got a much better one already in there with 377 Danidite 00. And you know, anytime you are dismantling those, you are getting some extra bits, some rewards, some glimmer, or some legendary marks, depending on which pieces you are dismantling. 190 mark of the lost 7. Yeah, that's just no longer useful. Alright, so quickly have a look at the missions. What do we got there? Talk to Zavala. But you see, we indeed had completed some of our bounties. Housebreaking, defeat 10 fallen mages or ultras completed. So up in reputation. Call lightning, get 30 kills with armed abilities. New monarch rank 1, that's pretty good. Obviously we've gone up in our reputation. And we have Elixni hunting, defeat 50 fallen completed. Petra is very happy. Might of light and reputation up. Right. So that is our next task in here. Looks like we had acquired, okay, Sunbreaker's challenge. So Sunbreaker's challenge needs to be completed. Okay. So actually, change of plan. Instead of looking for, the one, a cry for help, we need to complete that. Head to Venus in search of Sunbreakers and Mercenary Clan of Titans. Complete mission March of Fire. Okay, so we're doing that. Before we go there, we are going to be collecting some bounties in order to get rewarded every single time
Disruption resolved.
after completing missions.
Bounty for sighting. Present.
So we'll have grenade kills.
Updating logs.
We'll have patrol dreadnought.
Goodbye.
Alright, so that's all done and dusted. But it seems to me that patrolling those planets and the bounties we take, they kind of disappear after a little while. Because I do remember taking a few of those thinking, well, if we need to be doing 100 of those patrols, then it's best if I collect them right at the beginning of our story missions. But they keep disappearing. Look at that beautiful view. Isn't that wonderful? It certainly is. Absolutely delightful. I always really have a good look. Remember the city I love, the planet I just want to protect, and also think of the loved ones, think of all those places which are close to my heart, gather my thoughts, get focused and energized, and then proceed with another mission. So it's Venus we need to go to, right? Sunbreakers. We'll double check again to make sure that everything is in order. Right, so that's all enabled. And the mission is, as we've seen already, why is that a march of fire. So we need to go to Venus. A march of fire. Off we go. Mars, Venus, march of fire. Indeed, there it is. Need to find those rebel titans and basically put them down.
What does it mean to be a Titan? As a Titan, you are a part of the city in a way no warlock or hunter could understand. The dream of the city rests upon our shoulders. Then there are those that find a path outside our walls. Those that take up with leaders they barely understand. So it has ever been with the Sunbreakers. The Hammer of Soul is a flame in the darkness, but fire burns without thought. It is time that fire came home, to keep the city and her walls warm throughout the long night.
There we are.
A legion of Sunbreakers was spotted near a Vex gate in the Ishtar Sink. They do not stay in one place for long.
There we are, we landed, and we are going to be proceeding, of course. Just bear with me, I've just received some messages there on Instagram and Twitter from some of our followers asking a few questions, so making sure that we're responding. Just bear with me, I have to respond. I'll engage with the battle straight away. we are. Carrying on with our battles. As you could see, a lot to do. We are. Beautiful sights. Enemy defeated. I could just use my super in here. What does it? I do need to go up here, I think. I apologise for the delays. We had
I'm
some
detecting
activity
what looks
on
like a
Twitter
Sunbreaker's
and
beacon, but it's interlaced with Vex feedback.
on Instagram, so I was just responding to the community members' messages. They were asking a few questions about Apex, so why Apex was not on tonight. And I just explained, you know, that I'm taking a break from Apex for a few days and we'll come back as from next week. Our Apex community is also very vibrant, energetic and growing, very competitive. People are chasing those levels, collecting scores, trying to survive in that, you know, battle-hardened arena as long as possible. A lot of people don't realize that, you know, doing many kills is not giving them enough points for leveling up. It's all about the survival rate. And I guess anyone who's being imported from some other games perhaps not fully aware of that. Alright, so what's happening here?
Fall back! Fall back! Should you, Osiris? Protect the forge once they're in. You remember.
Osiris. Find out where they've gone, Guardian. My report said they were heading for a Vex gate.
Okay, explore the lab and dig. So we need to see where everyone else is. Wait a minute, something like that. in here, all sorts. Maybe they want us to go up. Best idea is to be just walking, right? Up here. And then going up. That's what they wanted. Oh! A lot of activity on Twitter and Instagram tonight. Messages coming in, people asking about this stream as well. Asking about raids and strikes. Just have to respond by, saying at the moment we're doing story missions on Titan. We want to bring them literally to the top level where all the story missions have been completed. And then we'll do all the other things. We're doing all the strikes, which obviously are part and parcel of the story missions. But as you know, on my Hunter, I've done very, very many Siva heroic strikes and, you know, all the other ones, and Nightfall strikes we're doing every week with some of our community members. It's been really a lot of fun. It's a bit different at the moment. We do want to have a variety, you know, that's the idea behind really doing all three characters. We are. Somebody else was contacting me on PlayStation as well, just fathom me. Really lot of activity, very activity. Really very glad to see that. And in fact, I think what's happening is because I've been streaming a bit less during the last couple of days. I've had a lot more activity taking place during the streams. It is funny, you know. I always think that providing lengthier streams will facilitate greater activity, but that's not always the case. Ooh, look at that. Didn't see that. We definitely want to be using our rocket launcher in there. Just have to wait until he's sort of semi-uncovered.
The gate's offline. If I can map that conflux, I might be able to...
What's this? Oh, one of the enemies. There it goes.
Zavala, the Sunbreakers opened this gate to Mercury. I have the coordinates.
Then plot a course. Find their forge, Guardian. If the city hopes to weather the oncoming darkness, we will need the flame it holds.
Mission has ended. So this was successful. So that's pretty good. I'm very happy about that. We'll go back to Zavala, collect a new mission, and we'll crack on. It was so enjoyable to have two other guys coming in and doing that strike, because I was sort of doing it yesterday and by myself. It seemed a bit too difficult, because the strike really is designed for a three-piece, and you know why, because the enemies come in waves that come from both sides, and they have powerful weapons. So great to see that. I think in Anthem you're going to see quite a few situations like that as well. It's so rewarding to see that, you know, the sections are literally wanting to bring that social element in ASAP, and the people wanting to do a cappella may not succeed. And that's really great about the multiplayer games, and you know, the games which are done in teams. I think the benefit of Destiny 1 is certainly that you have plenty of choice. You can do, you know, monolith missions by
Mercury
yourself.
was transformed by the Vex in the early days of the collapse. As far as we know, the Warlock Osiris is the only Guardian to spend any time among the Spires, and we haven't heard from him in years.
Osiris brokered a contract between the Sunbreakers and the city. Its terms were unacceptable to me. Now the Sunbreakers hate the Vanguard. They hate me.
We do not know of you, Guardian. But if you found us, you are worthy of our time. I am Uras, 3rd Imperial Magistrate of the Sunbreakers. You have come to test your light in the Forge. Here you must prove you are one with the light. Use your ghost to ignite the Forge.
Yes, ma'am. Guardian, Uros is a legend. If even half the stories are true, she's one of the most powerful Titans alive today.
Not bad. Keep my close. I didn't get it. From here. Still.
Power's on, but the array needs to be aligned. Let's head outside.
Okay. Refocus the beam now. See what we need to do.
Shadows of the light that gave birth to the ancients. Use the Forge.
approach the burning forge. Okay.
Fire born of man. Fire of the light. Ask yourself, what power do you seek from the forge, Guardian? Can you bring light to where only darkness survives? Prepare yourself.
Well,
So we're going to get attacked then. Here we go!
this was not good.
So we're going to get attacked then. Here we go!
Again, the same problem. But I get it, it's all down to the
so we're going to get
super
attacked
being
then.
recharged.
Here we go!
Sunbreaker does not answer to any but the will of the light. Welcome, Guardian. Wield no power but the fury of fire.
We completed the mission successfully, so that's wonderful. In fact, I'll have a very, very short break now. I need to go to the loo and I'll be back in a second, so just bear with us. Hope you enjoyed this firefight. It was really feisty and quite difficult. I did die a few times. It's an interesting mission because it was split into two different levels, like a two-tier levels, a bit different to everything else. I don't think I've played this mission at all before. Maybe it's just Titan specific. Right, so I'll take a very short break of about a minute. When I come back, we'll carry on with our missions. We'll go back to the tower, do some admin, talk to Zavala, and get another quest. So bear with us, I'll be back literally within 1 minute. There we are, I'm back, and we are continuing with our adventure. So bear with us, and we are going back to the tower. So you could see, plenty for us to do there. Zavala's waiting for us. Ikora has something to say. So we do have lots of interesting things to do in the tower before we proceed with another mission. Lots of interesting missions, I have to say, at this stage. And what I quite like is, as I'm obviously my third character, you do all the story missions in a linear fashion, which was not the case when I started doing Destiny first on my first character, notably the Warlock. And just like with any other game, you know, your first run is just learning. And not every other game, the big games, the blockbusters, the massive, vast games, you know, and then when you're doing it for the second time, you know, the ropes becomes very, very interesting. In fact, I have to say that after watching some of the cutscenes, some of them really appear to be there for the first time. I'm sure they're not, but it's always like entering the world which is so vast that any form of revisit will do you justice. And, you know, that's really what we like the best. I guess this was the intention of the developers as well. They wanted a game that can be played for many, many months and years to come.
Tell me about the Dreadnought.
And if I remember correctly, these were the intentions from the beginning, when the video game started, but the tech did not allow that, and there were many other issues at the time which were prohibiting, the games of this size, notably purely the format. You had to be downloading basically from your CDs onto your computer. I do remember having Black Dahlia and Ripper, Take-Two games from the 90s, and I think they had either 6 or 8 DVDs, and all of them had to be downloaded onto your computer, and then, you know, you were playing the game. And by those standard, you know, in those days, these were considered to be unbelievably big games, so the equivalent of Elder Scrolls Online today or Destiny. And I love them, and you know, some of them have some degree of pleasure and excitement, but it's just about, you know, the vastness of such worlds, and always liked lengthier games, really. That was my personal preference. And I think for all of you who have been reading my Facebook and maybe following my Twitter from the beginning, you'll know that I'm really a very, very great fan of Trigon Empire, Don Lawrence's graphic novel from the 60s. And that world is very similar to Mass Effect and Destiny. You know, it's a world of a culture somewhere in one of those distant planets, which is run in a fashion similar to the ancient Rome or ancient Greece, and they'll be threatened by various enemies coming from different planets. They have to obviously defend their culture, their way of life, and therefore the games like Mass Effect and Destiny really connected. They were, you know, almost like an extension of that world from Trigon Empire. Anybody interested, have a look. And they're quite rare comics and graphic novels to get. You probably could get them in the album, you know, graphic novel album format. They have been re-released a couple of times, like special editions, but they're quite pricey. But nevertheless, I can assure you, my love for graphic novels overall started with Trigon Empire when I was about 4 or 5, I think. And what really was immersive and appealing was Don Lawrence's, you know, illustrations, his kind of graphic novels work. He was a perfect illustrator who was able to use color to a degree never previously seen on paper. And I think it does require a lot more recognition and acknowledgement today for what he received in his lifetime. Sadly, he passed away a few years back, and you know, he was a wonderful illustrator and never ever properly acknowledged in the United Kingdom, probably because in the UK the entire notion of reading graphic novels was for many years considered to be as really bad culture, something of low quality and particularly stimulating, you know, the bad things like crime, violence, sex, and, you know, all sorts, which is obviously nonsense. And his work was embraced by Central European publishers, so he worked for a number of Dutch and Belgian distributors and people who were sort of publishing his graphic novels in a, you know, album format. And I think he was also then engaged by a Bosnian publisher later in his career when he produced Storm, another wonderful graphic novel. So if you were to be reading, you know, Trigon Empire or Storm, you would get immediately Don Morrison's fingerprint in everything he did. These bright colors, this very engaging distant world, the heroes that look like literally your well, they weren't just superheroes. They weren't superheroes. They were very humane and very vulnerable at the same time as being heroic. But I think amongst the three, Carl the Viking, Trigon Empire, and Storm, I would really settle for Trigon Empire. It's just because I obviously got to know about graphic novels through, you know, that particular entity first, and really my love of graphic novels, and particularly those which are beautifully illustrated, had remained ever since. So it's many, many years. And if you ever come across Don Lawrence's graphic novels, Storm or Trigon Empire, both of which were produced and designed in colour from the word go, compared to Carl the Viking, that was not, you will be able to identify, you know, his style, his signature, and those beautiful images will captivate you for many months and years to come. The best acquired in that album format, as I said. If you Google it, you'll be able to get them on Amazon or through some of the independent publishers, and you know, they'll remain with you for the rest of your days. So if you ask yourself what's actually brought me to Destiny and Mass Effect, well, that's the answer. It's Mr. Don Lawrence.
can I help?
And I have to confess, I've not read them, you know, since I was a child. So I'm due. Let's look at that.
Switch the routes. High security package.
The vanguards will have to know about this.
C-30G is lost in the city. We're understaffed already.
I've taken a clip of this wonderful activity. I love that when I see completely unknown, you know, people coming in with the characters. So you can see he's like Centurion. He's beautifully designed, and sort of dancing and doing various grooves. Really, really pleasurable, and you know, really exciting. It's really your social hub in here, isn't it? You meet other people, you team up with them. I know that Matthias does have the same perk which this person has, and it's the what's his name, the Korean singer stroke dancer who was doing this sort of dance. It's very, very funny. And there we are, back to Master Rahul.
Let's see what we have then.
Indeed, sir. Just one of those weapons. Thank you, sir, for your service and your kind decoding. Well, Cyrus is not bad. 385, that's quite high up. So we'll keep Cyrus.
I should get back to my study.
To be honest with you, I've been using fusion rifle and hand cannon on my Titan literally throughout, so it's been very, very good. Hand cannon has proved very, very deadly, both with my warlock, with my hunter and Titan. It's less effective with my warlock for some reason, don't know why. So, firstly, I need to speak to Zavala. Need to get a debrief.
The Sunbreaker's fire has not been seen within the walls in years.
Their association with Osiris, the stupidity of our youth, it all seems long ago. At least with that hammer at your side, the flame of soul once again burns, keeping the heart of the last great city alive. The hammer was very powerful, has to be said. So we're getting the Sunbreaker's mark, Titan mark, 220 defense.
Take that hammer to the stars, Titan. It represents the tower now.
Trophy earned as well. I'm a Sunbreaker, so that's a new trophy. Fantastic. I've not had it before. Even our victories of late remind me of how far enemies will go to destroy us, but you protected the tower and the city just the same. Well done, Guardian.
Good work.
Rifle. Take this reward. And then he's asking us to do some crucible. You found the means to forge the Hammer of Soul, the first within tower walls in a long time. Show me what you can do. Show everyone.
You
so
have
we'll accept that. So that's for the crucible. But maybe one day we are going to do crucible. I have to really find out a team to do it with, so I will see. And right, so we finished with Zavala. We have then Cade, and we have Akora. So let's see first of all what Cade has to say.
It isn't fun, but we need to set up some beacons so the Vanguard can patrol the Dreadnought.
Establish patrol routes and beacon sites for the Vanguard on the Hive Dreadnought. Complete mission, Dread Patrol. Okay, so we'll do that next. It isn't fun, but we need to set out some beacons to so the Vanguard can patrol the Dreadnought.
Isn't fun for you, anyway. See you on the comms.
Okay, so that's the Dread Patrol, and that is...
And back to the wild with you.
Indeed, sir. I shall be back after another battle. Fear God, honor the King. So we are back to the Dreadnought. We need to be setting up some of those beacons in there.
You look like you need training.
You look like you need training, mate. Well, maybe. I do need some training and some advice for Crucible. I've not done Crucible at all. there we are, doing the same, gathering our thoughts, thinking of the loved ones and everyone who's close to our heart, getting some resilience, getting some focus, some energy, and then going up in the orbit and continuing with our battles. So where was it? Dreadnought. Dread Patrol mission is ahead of us. And we are proceeding with vigor. Stand by and then advance to Dreadnought.
So Zavala was here a while ago, gave this big speech about how proud he is, how well the Dreadnought campaign went, and you know how he gets. Anyway, he gave me a list here, setup locations for patrol beacons. We need them planted and tested if we're gonna get that tub under control. You plant them, you test them, I'll keep you company. Right. First on the list is an intel beacon. Helps us get the lay of the land, gives us updates on troop movement, skirmishes and the like. You've got the marker. Go do your thing.
What did I do now? I don't know what's happened. I just walked backwards and then I was dead. That wasn't the thing to do, obviously. So where is the first beacon? I think the first beacon is not here. The first beacon is... oh, there.
Okay, the beacon signal is coming in loud and clear. Ah, in fact, I've already got a ping. Marking a hot zone for you. Go get a look at the fighting, see what you can see.
I think it's here. I have to say I really hated this mission when I've done it before. I really did. Falling on. Skirmish scouted. What happened there? actually, what I'll do is I'll play this standing, because suddenly I'm getting a bit of a pain in my neck, I don't know why. Finally he's gone. He was resisting it, didn't he? As you can see. Oh, got one of the Dragonite rooms, so that's good. Looks like this thing needs to be done next. I hate it. See what I can do from this end. Okay. He's falling then all the way down, look at it. no, 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 no. Okay, I got that. And then to get there. Okay. So let's see, is this here or not? It's still above. Fell all the way back. Finally, this is ridiculously difficult.
Data's good. Second marker should have been downloaded to your Ghost. Intel beacons are Ikora's favorite, by the way. Never met a woman who appreciated ambient temperature and energy readings as much as she does.
You see this? I've not been able to collect this one, I think, on the other two characters. This is calcified fragment. They're very, very hard to get. So just purely by chance, after being up here, I had a look and discovered there's this calcified fragment in there. So I'll take it. So what's the next thing we need to do? Let's see. Nearly dead. Because it didn't jump at the end, that's why. Yeah, there's another beacon in there. Okay, we've done 2. I think there are 3 altogether. I think there are. I'm not so sure, but there's one thing which is made easier in Anthem. It's those pointers, you know, which you need to follow. They work better than in Destiny 1, for certain. This has been always a bit of a struggle for me. because they need to know exactly, you know, what to do, and sometimes they show up, sometimes you need to use a ghost. You see that? Now I can see it, but it always disappears. Shouldn't really disappear ever. There we are. The last one.
The marker's up and running. You kids love these scoot and scan missions. I just like them as an excuse to stretch the old legs. I'm feeding you data for a few nearby energy spikes. Get moving.
Looks like I need to go to the energy ones. Okay. Oh, no. Where was he? I didn't see him. He's standing in that energy beam in there. Boo. Too slow. It's already down to nil. Look at it. One, two, another one there. Again they got me. So I better examine where these ones are, because I'm otherwise wasting my time. Finally.
I was gonna send you off with a pithy joke, but Eris started droning on about the pathways into darkness or some damn thing. Got distracted. Anyway, One more beacon to go, if you'd be so kind.
That's good. Hey, that Centurion. So where's that beacon? There. Okay.
Beacon is hot. Yeah, that's a good signal. I'm getting some data on taken patrols around the ship. We've already got a hotspot on the board. Go clear out that blight, Guardian.
I haven't destroyed Taken. And look at him. Oh, they come out in waves. We're respawning. Ah, got to go in there. Don't fancy doing this, I have to admit. To get in immediately, that's pretty good. Usually I kept falling. Someone's feasting. Look at him. Boo. Slugs of some sort. We need to eliminate Taken, so let's crack on. Let's find them, because they have to be respawning, causing us the trouble of all sorts. Can't even know there's... I think in my third character I kind of remember lots of bits correctly, which is good. Let's see. That's just too bad, you know. I'll do everything right, and then at the end I don't really jump correctly. But you know, we'll get there, right? Got it. So where are those beastly Taken? Come on. Restore.
That's a Taken pack all cleaned out. Good work. You know, Zavala fella gets all cranky if you have more important things to do than plant beacons. Not a problem today. Come on back.
So I've got 25 legendary marks. That's pretty good. I'm happy with that. So let's wait until the mission ends. We'll have a look at the scores. No, I don't want to go now. I don't want to fall into this. We are. Upgrades we have. So now we're building our Sunbreaker. Let's see. Fusion grenade. I'm thinking sentry grenade. Oh no, put this one on thermal grenade. Can't be enabled. Why? Lift, Hammer of Soul, Forge Master, Sunstrike, Titan Codex. Alright, so doing okay there. We have some engrams in there to be decoded, so we're going to be going back to the tower. We'll do some admin. We will decode some engrams. We'll speak to Cade, and we'll get another mission. Probably enough time for 1 or 2 missions tonight. As you know, tonight is the Oscars night, and as from 2200 hours, I will be indeed following all the activities from LA. Who do you think is going to be winning Oscars tonight? Do you have any favorites? Are there any films which you really want to see there? Do you have any favorite actors or actresses? Those who would like to take a beautiful golden statue away with them. Let's see what happens tonight. I think the ceremony will start at 1 o'clock AM UK time. May well be a bit too late for me to watch. We'll see.
What can I do for you, Titan?
Many things, sir. Many things, sir. First of all, perhaps you'll be able to decode my engrams.
Perhaps a rare relic of the Golden Age. Not many of those left, even in our vaults.
What's that? Cable's pocket watch. Well, where did that go? Quite curious about that. Cable's pocket watch. $385, $384. Can increase intellect and strength. Just remember that. Intellect, as you could see, discipline, strength. In fact, I told you wrong. Intellect is for your super, discipline is for your grenades, and strength is for your special abilities. Sunstrike in this instance, right? Right. So let's crack on. Let's see what else there is for us to do. There's somebody in there who wants to speak to us as well. Let's see who that is. Quite curious. Is that Ava the Vant? Maybe. No. Probably the speaker.
Keep trying to Vala until he helps.
Keeping us all safe out there?
I told the speaker. Okay.
Your rank with this faction has increased. As you support the last city, so shall the last city support you. Thank you, Guardian. So he's offering us some rewards. Okay, we got some motor flight and strange coin, so that's good.
Tell your friends.
Executor Hideo.
Do it again.
Able to bound. Anybody else? Nobody else down here.
I don't know what they're sitting on.
Off we go to our commander's deck. Look at that. Boom! Nice jump.
Never truly over.
Ares is here. She has something to give us as well. We are to go to cave first.
Tell me about the Dreadnought. Patrols are just one of those things we have to do as loyal Vanguard members. Yeah.
Uphold the honor of the tower, keep the dream of the city alive, and yeah, look, that would have been way less fun working with someone else. Good job, Guardian. Team from detonating the Dreadnought's core. Complete the strike, Shield Brothers. So the Cabal don't do things halfway. They crashed a warship right into the Dreadnought. On Imperial orders, they made a beachhead for the Legion to assault Oryx's throne. Well, they've just kicked off a new operation with plans to blow the ship's core. If the Dreadnought blows, the blast will cripple everything between us and Saturn's rings. Head out and I'll run the comms. We'll make Zavala proud, or at least not embarrassed. And that's a good goal. So it's the Shield Brothers. We played that many times as Nightfall Strike. As you know, it's a very difficult one.
Any questions?
None. Fear God, honor the king, sir. I shall proceed. So that's the strike we need to complete.
Alright, I'll be right here.
I will be back after that strike has been completed, sir. Fear God, honor the king. I'll be back after the battle.
Oryx is gone, but his armies remain.
To help you, Guardian.
There we are. We'll have a look at the beautiful picture postcard scenery. Gather thoughts, think of the loved ones, get resilience, get strength, and then up in the orbit. Just bear with me, I need to go to the toilet. I'll be back literally within a minute. There we are, I'm back. Let's see what happens with the strike. Hopefully there are going to be some other people to join us as well. Shield Brothers is the strike. So you can see games looking for some partners, but it doesn't look like there are many people doing it. So let's see how good we are going to be with it. Strike's always best done as a 3-piece, a lot more enjoyable and a lot more manageable.
Funny story for you. Remember that Centurion Oryx took right after you landed on the Dreadnought? Then the Centurion and the Taken Ogre tried to stop you from killing the king? Didn't work. So the Centurion's Bond brothers are pretty angry they lost their commander. They're leading a team to blow the Dreadnought's core. Core goes, most of the system goes with it. You're gonna make sure that doesn't happen.
Or the Cabal ship.
Cade, why do you think they crashed their ship into the Dreadnought? Those are extreme tactics for the Cabal.
The Vanguard intercepted a signal, a message from the Cabal from way outside the solar system. A direct order to crash the ship, use it as a beachhead, and take out the king. Now that's loyalty.
I have tracking on the Bond brothers. They're the ones leading the assault on the power core. Marking the coordinates now.
Out into the hole, which was not particularly good. Okay, someone else joined us, so that's pretty good.
Watch out! They brought a tank to a gunfight!
Another tank in there. Hit by a tank. Wow.
their signal. Maybe we should try the bridge.
Those Cabal soldiers have no fear. You know, when they go to war, they're kicked out of the Empire. Yep, victory is the only way they get to go home. Not a lot of people know that.
Annoying enemies. Come on, we want to wrap it up ASAP because my Oscars night is coming in about 15 minutes. In a hurry, really.
Taken and Cabal fighting for the bridge. Wherever the brothers are, they aren't here. Let's keep moving.
Indeed, let's keep moving. Let's keep moving.
I bet those brothers don't even know their commander is dead. Their attack might be some kind of ultimatum. Give us the Primus, or we blow the ship.
That is a lot of Cabal explosives hooked up to the Dreadnought core.
And we come to the area where the Shield Brothers are to emerge.
There are munitions hooked up to each structural weakness on the core. I think the brothers know we're here.
Dead already. That was not funny.
targets are neutralized.
Somewhere, an awful long way from here. Some Imperial flunky is getting a message. Word that these brothers are dead and they have no more ranking soldiers in our system. You made that happen, Guardian. Savor it.
There we are, we finished the mission. This was a very difficult strike, but indeed we were able to complete it. And therefore, we are coming to the end of our broadcast for tonight. I want to be watching Oscar ceremony, as you know, so I will be doing that immediately. I want to thank everyone for coming, for watching my broadcast, for enjoying the firefights, for being with us for several strikes and quite a few missions. In fact, we're able to cram in quite a lot within those 3 hours. I'm very, very pleased. And I will wish you all a very, very good night. Hope you're also going to be watching Oscars and enjoying it as much as myself. And we'll continue with our Destiny World, of course, tomorrow. So do come back, do join us tomorrow when we proceed with our adventures in Destiny 1 on our Titan character. On that note, I wish you all a very, very good night.